Today we're going to rebrand me, this person right here. Nothing much. Usually, especially for designers, branding ourselves is really difficult. If you are an entrepreneur or a business owner or a graphic designer, then this video is for you. Hello everyone, welcome to my new YouTube channel, Pucci Studio, where we deal with graphic design and more. I hope that you're having a good day today and that you will keep on having one after this video. I spent years trying to figure out how to explain what branding is to people not in the field, because usually it goes like this. So what do? I'm a brand designer. So you draw? But don't worry, my brand designer friends, I figured it out. Brand design is character design. Thank you. Probably said something that you already knew, but thank you. When we draw a character, we justify their appearance with their background, ambitions, personality, principles, and the why of all this. In brand design, the story, the goals, the personality, the values, and the reason for this corresponds to the verbal identity and brand strategy, which is then translated into graphics, into the visual identity. Now, before even delving into the verbal identity and brand strategy, what we need to do is the analysis of the current brand, if it exists, the market it operates in, and the audience it is here for. But what does all this mean? Well then, let's start rebranding. We need to go through research, verbal identity, and visual identity. In this video, we'll cover step 1 and 2, while we'll talk about step 3 in the next video. So we can just ignore it for now. Let's start with the research then. As you can see, research consists of many steps. Let's start with the first one. The analysis of my current brand is very quick because I don't really have a brand. Can you see it? What is this? It's just a simple logo, not well thought out. I made it because I thought that some letters in my name and surname were sharp and others were round, so I combined them to create this kind of person standing. And I thought it was cute. And then I chose the color red just to stand out because it was a period where I was sending out CVs and no one would answer to me. Do you think that the color red changed anything? Nah, it was me. The problem was me. After the analysis of my brand, now we can get into the questions. We usually make these questions to the brand, to the people who experienced the brand, and to the people who did not experience the brand. So maybe they don't know the existence of it. In my experience, I think I've had 2 real clients, nothing more than that. And they all said that my thing was being there, explaining everything in the process and being obsessed with details. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing, if they meant it as a compliment, but what I'm gonna do is take it and use it. Now we're gonna have a look at the questions that we would usually ask another brand, but that today we're gonna address to me. So why do we need to ask these questions? Well, we need to understand how the brand thinks of itself and describes itself to influence the perception of the people of the brand. First of all, we always pretend that the brand is a person before asking these questions. So let's start. What is the story or background of the brand? What is their niche? And what services do they offer? What is the clientele? Which means what are the current clients and what are the desired ones? Maybe the brand wants to change or to refine the segmentation. That means targeting a more specific group of people. Then we ask if the brand knows about their competitors and if they admire a brand and why, because maybe they want to get to that level. Then we go furthermore and understand how the brand thinks of itself through the 6 senses, such as sight, so color, texture, if it feels more modern or more nostalgic, even though it can be in the feel and mood as well. Then we have the smell, so the perfume or natural perfume that the brand wants to be remembered by. For example, Sephora spraying the sample perfumes on your bag when you purchase something. Then we have touch, such as materials and textures. For example, I like printed paper, so that's the feel and of the touch that I want to leave to my clients or potential clients or stakeholders. I don't know what I'm saying. Then we have sound. So if the brand wants to be remembered through a song or a jingle, for example, Just Eat, we can all remember it because it goes, at least in Italy, qualcuno ha detto Just Eat, TikTok, Then taste, so food. I've been unraveling myself to find an example here, and I think Jisoo, not Jesus, I think it tastes as sweet. I don't know if you agree with me, but let me know in the comments below. Lastly, feel or mood. So how does the brand want the clients to feel like, or what does the brand want to convey as a mood? Then we can make things interesting by adding questions like, what is the brand's favorite place on earth? Or who would it be if it were a celebrity? And so on. These are my responses to these questions. I'll show them really quickly. You can pause or not. Then we can move on to the analysis of the competitors, which is very important to do for a brand to position itself in the market. That said, I'm just a small tiny fish in the ocean. There are big sharks out there, so the only thing that I can think of to position myself in the market in a strategic way is to be myself. We now move on to the last step of research, that is customer journey. The customer journey is crucial for a brand to understand how it comes in contact with the people. So whether they are their customers, potential customers, or non-customers at all. By studying the touch points between the brand and the people, the brand can be strategic about its presence. Obviously, again, I'm a small tiny fish. I'm a grain in the sand in the ocean, if it makes sense. And I do not have a specific nor desired type of client yet. What I can do instead of studying my target customer's life and how to sneakily get into it, I can put my brand out there in the world, be as visible as possible. So instead of a customer journey, what I'm gonna have is a customer's touch point, or customer touch points. Probably would be more fitting. So the touch points are both physical and digital. For the physical part, what we have is business cards, stickers, so that I can show my brand in the streets legally. Then I have printed projects that maybe I can present by attending events, workshops, and so on. From the digital part, we have the affirmed or assured social media presence, such as Instagram, Behance, LinkedIn, and the new social media presence such as YouTube and TikTok. And then we have the website, which is not directly reachable because people do not look for me directly on the internet. They just go to it, if they do, through my social profiles. Now that we have all the brand analysis that we need, we can finally move on to the verbal identity. Yay, we did it! Finally. If you think about how you speak to your friends and family against how you speak to your clients, bosses, and professors, you notice a difference, right? You can't go to your boss and be like, yo bro, what were you up to this weekend, huh? I did not see any story, huh? And you cannot go to your best friend and go like, I've taken into consideration your suggestion. However, I have decided to move into a more suitable option for me. It's the same thing with brands. They can have a voice according to their personality, but they can vary the tone depending who they are talking to. In my case, let's analyze how my voice should sound in formal and informal contexts. For both of them, we have confident, calm, clear, friendly, and fun. In the formal column, we need to add technical vocabulary because obviously when talking to clients, I want to show my expertise and to make them understand what I'm talking about exactly instead of saying that thing or this and so on. Fun, let's put it in many quotes because I can lighten up the mood, yes, but I cannot make all the jokes in the world because otherwise my clients will be terrorized and run away. For the informal column, to calm, we add dynamic because I can be either one as well as in between when I'm talking, for example, to my colleagues. To the clear section, I'll add but can have cadences because I can sound as much as the Queen of England as well as the member of the Italian mafia. Then we have, instead of technical, approachable, because obviously when I'm talking to my friends and family, I do not talk about work that much. I think. Finally, instead of fun, we have sarcastic and ironic, because I can be free to do so. Now we talk about values. Thus, what do I fight for? What do you fight for? Huh? To create the values, we can use the information we obtained by the questionnaire as well as the voice description. So I think that education should come first in everyone's life, in the sense that everyone should be able to access as much information as possible in the clearest way. But obviously, I cannot have education as a value of mine because I'm not applying for a teaching job, am I? So what we're gonna do is put clarity, as I can always be clear when explaining myself and my processes. The second value I would put is probably collaboration, because I truly believe that no one can live in this world alone. We need somebody to share ideas with and to gather ideas from. In a good sense, not in a bad sense, kind of like I'm gonna steal your ideas kind of way. No, we are here to create something good, something together, something that is better than our ideas individually. For the next value, I think we should put integrity. I don't know if it's for my OCD, but I like to stick to what I say and what I do. Obviously, I'm more mature than when I was 6 years old, but you get the point. Then we have creativity for a purpose and for problem solving. I've never been an art person. I've never drawn just to draw. I've always designed for something, for a reason, so that's why I became a graphic designer. Last value I think it's important is enjoyment. I think everyone should enjoy their time, no matter if the situation is serious or boring, like this one. We get finally to the last part of the verbal identity. That's the unique value proposition. That is the value I give to clients in exchange for their investment in me that is unique for them compared to all the other competitors I have or all the other brands in the same field that may offer the same services. I won't show the options I wrote because I wrote many, so I'll show you the one I chose. A smooth, organized, actually enjoyable process for a thoughtful design and an honest guidance. Because that's all I try to do. I try to give my clients an honest guidance through a thoughtful design, well thought out, well researched, and possibly make them enjoy the process in the meantime. I probably do that also with friends and family, like I always try to give them the best options they have. They probably hate me for that, but they know it's out of love. You know that, right? Although it encapsulates my brand essence the best way possible, this phrase is too long for social media presence, so we can shorten it in, for example, enjoyable thoughtful design, enjoyable honest design, or enjoyable honest guidance process. I don't know, we'll figure it out together in the next video, I suppose. Bye for now.